Welcome to the show.
This is The Adults Are Talking, and today we're talking about safety, personal safety, specifically for women.
Okay.
Are women safe out there? Do you feel safe out there as a woman?
Well, not by myself.
Yeah. I mean, as a guy, I don't feel safe out there sometimes when I'm doing things at night or in the early morning or
Yeah.
going to certain neighborhoods or certain activities. Sometimes a Craigslist purchase at someone's home or something. I always try to make sure that we're going to a neutral place if possible.
Yeah.
Because there's been times where, you know, they jump you, they scam you and try to rob you. I think I saw a story where a father and son went to go buy some sort of gaming console and were shot. The father was shot or something.
Ew. Yikes.
So there's a lot of activities being done.
Yeah, whenever we sell or buy something, we always insist on meeting in a very public place.
During the day.
Only daytime.
Or daylight, yeah.
Yeah. Never at the house. I don't like to go to people's houses unless I know them.
There's a piece of advice that I got from a tour guide in Israel. I was, I think, in my late teens, early 20s, 1999. And he said, do you know the difference between a clever man and an intelligent man? And I was like, no. What is that?
Because I'm not intelligent. I'm a dummy.
Well, I'm about to make you. And he goes, the clever man can get out of a situation. The intelligent man avoids altogether.
Oh, yes.
So there's a lot of situations that we need to be avoiding as single women so that we don't end up another news story. There's just so many news stories of women being abducted, women being assaulted.
Yeah, and this has been going on for decades. Like we like to watch a lot of those murder documentaries. I don't know why. They're just kind of fascinating. And this latest one,
The Hillside Strangler.
Oh, gosh. And it's just like, man, this guy really racked him up with that death. It's crazy. And at one point I'm just like, why, if it's Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles, why are these women just and it's happening in the day? Why are they by themselves? Why?
Yeah.
What happened to the buddy system?
Yeah.
It's like the buddy system we learned when we were kids. But I mean, especially if there's a murderer around and he's targeting young, women, be in a buddy system.
I think a lot of it comes from the left propaganda that women are equal to men.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways they are, but in a lot of ways they're not. And I think a lot of women have bought into that they can do everything on their own. We can be police officers and firefighters.
It's not just the left. It's also the right, too, because they're like, I'm a strong, independent woman. I make my own money. I make my own decisions. Well, that's well and good, but there's people out there that can hurt you,
Yeah.
Even if you know self-defense, even if you carry a gun, you're those smaller species in a lot of ways, and a man can overpower you, or several can jump you, or even other women, gangs can jump you,
Right.
And then what?
And so I think there's a lot of situations that we need to avoid so that we don't find ourselves trying to escape these bad situations in the last minute.
Yeah, these women joggers how many murders have we seen in the news for decades of these women joggers all by themselves, at the early morning hours, or, go where there's a lot of people around, or they'll just take the dog for a walk. Okay, but how small is the dog?
Or these hookup apps, for hooking up. They just go to some stranger's house on the first or second night. Like, you don't know them.
No. Public places. Get your coffee first.
You got to get to know them first before you start doing all that stuff.
Yeah, you just got to be a lot smarter about these things.
There's a great channel on YouTube that we watch about different personal self-defense situations.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, a huge percentage of these situations is about having self-awareness, being aware, situational awareness, being aware of your surroundings and not engaging in high-risk behavior such as stopping for gas in a high-crime neighborhood at night.
Yeah. Or just sitting in your car. A lot of people do this and there's not a lot of people around and your car isn't even locked and you're just sitting there on their phone just doing whatever and not even looking up once to see, there's some crazy person walking up to your car, and they can easily just walk up and open the door or whatever.
Right. We see it on the movies and TV shows and we think that that's not the reality that we live in. And there is danger lurking. I don't want to be such an alarmist or panicking, but there is potential danger lurking around every corner. And we have to do our part to be aware and be safe and not provoke or fall into these different high-risk situations.
There's sometimes where you do have to run out to the store real quick and grab something, but just be situational awareness to know where are you parking exactly. Are you on your phone? Don't be on your phone when you're going from point A to point B. Move quickly. Have your keys out and just be aware, But if you don't have to, don't go out at night like that, or take a buddy with you, take a kid with you that's a teenager or your spouse or a friend. If you're going to be jogging, jog with a partner. It's so much more fun anyways when you're, jogging with a friend or, a relative or something. But yeah, I guess we've seen too many of these scary documentaries, murder documentaries. We're just like, oh my gosh.
But women have to realize that they are at higher risk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things out there. We've seen a lot in the news. They're picking up these illegal immigrants, and a lot of them have prior convictions of assault. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of women who have been murdered by immigrants from different countries, illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
And, in some cases, I think it's in Minnesota, I know I heard about this in London, where they haven't prosecuted Muslim immigrants for different kinds of assault cases because they try to justify it and say that, well, they didn't really understand the culture and that's not really how.
There was an article I read about something happened in the UK and she wasn't raped enough under some definition. I'm like, what? Give me a break. Any kind of assault is bad. Like, what are you talking about?
Don't rely on the justice system to do its job. When it comes to these situations, if you live in a state or county where they have a lot of liberal judges or politicians, because everything is being politicized. Everything is being weaponized for political reasons.
What's crazy is, so if you live in a city where they allow a lot of, where it's sanctuary cities, people don't realize those countries where they come from, a lot of times, women don't walk around like, or people are, they're very highly aware of pickpocketers and being jumped and, murder and stuff. And so
sexual assault.
Yeah. It's very high in different parts of Mexico. I know in Nicaragua, like women do not go out alone. Like, it's just, you just don't do that. I mean, Colombia, all those places, they're a hotbed for crime. And it's not, you're lucky if the crime being done to you is to just take your wallet. Cause in a lot of these places, like you said, it's like murder. And it's like, it's really bad murder where you're dismembered and stuff and just nasty stuff. So it's like, take that into account if you live in a sanctuary city that those are the type of people doing those crimes, and they're not going to sit there and really, and the justice system, like you said, is not necessarily working in the favor of the American citizen. That's being,
right.
We're starting to become more like the UK, where it's just nutty. They're making victims into not victims anymore.
There's some cities out there that are installing these cameras that read license plates,
mm-hmm.
and it helps the police quickly find different kinds of criminals that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, I forget where, but they are turning those cameras off because the agencies that run them or created them share the data with ICE. So you can see they're putting sanctuary over safety.
Yeah.
So you can't rely on the people who are supposed to keep you safe.
To keep you safe.
Because it's all being politicized.
Yeah.
And so you have to take it into we should have been doing the whole time is we are our own first responders. We have to be our first line of defense.
Yeah.
And, you can carry a weapon, you can carry spray, you can learn self-defense, martial arts and all that. But that's already taking on collateral damage.
Yeah.
Having to be in a fist fight is already a losing situation.
Yeah.
Even if you can overpower the enemy. Having to use a firearm in self-defense is already a headache, even if you are justified. There's lawsuits that can come afterwards. So the best thing I would say, and this is what I use for our family, is situational awareness. Be aware, learn how to read a situation. You don't have to be Jason Bourne or anything like that. But, just being aware.
Simple thing is, do I really need this milk at this hour? Can't I just wait till tomorrow in daylight when I can go and there's lots of people around?
Don't bury your face in the phone the whole time.
Yeah.
And stop wearing earbuds constantly with music. We have to be aware of our surroundings, Be aware. Is someone raising their voice, starting a commotion? What is that? Peer over to see what exactly is happening. Most likely it's not going to be anything, but you never know.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Have you been a victim? Are you worried about these kind of things? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and
thanks for listening.